Hello ravers, and welcome to the Electric DM10, a mini-series for the DJs and producers that have carried their names into the journey of sound for at least a decade and more. During the time of this recording and posting, the project being covered is still in the professional EDM scene, creating bangers, touring/performing, or both. As the world of electronic music has countless DJs and producers, many qualify for the 10-plus year streak series. Being in the EDM industry for this amount of time is no easy task, let alone in the professional environment. With that said, this series of videos will briefly cover the project, the members, and tours/travels. Most importantly, the music that got these projects the impactful recognition for listeners and the fans of the thousands, millions, and in some cases, billions. For a project to qualify in this series, the following must be met. First, 10 plus years of the project name being active. Important note, the project name cannot change to a completely different name. Second, at least one main headlining tour or direct support tour of the project's time. Special cases can qualify. And third, must have a minimum of 3 EPs, 1 album, and or several songs/remixes published. A special note, the project name can have a time of taking a break from the scene due to health/unfortunate circumstances, as long as the creator of the project doesn't confirm the end of such project in less than 10 years. With that said, and a quick drum roll please, welcome to the 10th episode of the Electric DM10.
Hold up, wait, 1 sec. All right, stop. Hey, all right, stop. Ow, wait a sec.
Okay. Calm down for a bit. Alright. I got some explaining to do. I kind of deserve this on myself. Why? Well, I've been gone from the electric documentaries, even though very, very few actually watch them. And if you are among the very few that watches these edutaining documentaries, seriously, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your viewership means so much to me for this tiny little creator that does this for a hobby. And here's the main explanation. Why did I take a hiatus for about 5 months, almost 6 months actually? Well, it's a lot of this. And this. And a whole lot of mess ups that are on my TikToks. Due to things that happened in the United States, it is back up and running. I do need to get into TikTok once again, which I'm going to be doing a February marathon of lovely paints. Be sure to check it out. I am going to be posting those practically daily for the month of February 2025. Here's the number 2 reason. Life and my health has been improved. I am very grateful for me having my health practically back up and normal from my massive health incident that happened to me over 2 years ago. There is a video on my channel that I posted. It only has like less than 50 views, but if anyone ends up watching this, thank you. The big one, the last reason, it's a little P word, and it's not the one that you're thinking, you perverts. It's procrastination. Yep, I'm kicking myself in the head. I want to do my best to get out of the procrastination sphere for this year of 2025. And the main reason why I enjoyed doing these in the first place was to not only give the recognition for underrated and underseen DJs and producers, but this led me to some beautiful connections and networks that I was able to open up to get myself a little brave out there for the DJs and producers that I wanted to thank personally. And here's one of the pictures. This here is Ray. I strongly recommend checking out her music. I already did a documentary on her. So let's see where this year, 2025, is going to take us with the documentaries. And I do owe one to this particular DJ and producer by the name Sweettooth. My biggest apologies, man, if you are hearing this. I said I was going to be doing a documentary, but I didn't think I was going to be holding it off for this long. I should have done this months ago, but here I am, keeping my word, and I'll have a link to a particular video that helped me out massively with this documentary, which is Lenval Larid Jr. He did a video interview with Sweettooth that gave me a huge boost into saying, you know what? I got to do this. I kept my word to give a documentary for him. Let's do this. Go and see his interview, please. That's going to be also in the EDM box below. Now, for my version of the documentary, onto the video. Sweettooth, real name Devin, is an American DJ and producer that specializes in dubstep, more leaning into the subcategory of rhythm. He has confirmed to me personally, briefly, that he started making music around 2013. Sweettooth also mentioned it was not only with dubstep, but he does dabble into other types of music such as rock and metal. Let's jump into the early times. As I was mentioning in the intro, he stepped into the world of creating music in the year of 2013. What inspired him to have his own project was none other than an OG legend from the dubstep scene, Funcase. He started his times venturing into the underground and seeing Funcase back in the days. This was the start of his project, Sweettooth. Another honorable mention that Devin had, who is no longer with us ravers, is an OG by the name Cookie Monster, one of the founding fathers with Circus Records and a partner in crime for Funcase. These two gave that drive for Devin to start his own name in the scene. He started out as a DJ since creating mixes specifically on SoundCloud was his startup. Soon, with his own produced remixes, and then his original songs came into play. According to Spotify, his first release was actually a smash hit for the dubstep world, which was Impending Doom. This tune went significantly viral and actually has a story behind it thanks to the video interview from Lenval Laird Jr. I won't go too much into detail with what happened to the song and where it was trying to find its place in the music world. However, this caught the attention of Funcase after Sweettooth got an email with the green flag of being in a new underground label at the mid to late 2010s. This record label is now known as DPMO. Looking at SoundCloud, that's an entirely different story. He has mixes and remixes that go as far back as 2013 and even 2012. Yes, even though he has some songs that have been produced and played at main stage festivals in the dubstep scene. I'm looking at my little script right now. It says dubstep. I have a bunch of typos in here, so let's keep going. Devin considers himself as a DJ firsthand. With this out of the way, let's cover some of the tours/travels that he has undertaken. Some destinations/festivals would have to be the following: Forbidden Kingdom, Summoning of the Eclipse, one of his personal favorites, which he will be performing at in 2025 of February, EDC Mexico, which he has a big respect and love for the Latino community, which does a massive props. Lost Lands, Red Rocks, and more. He was a part of various tours as a supporter, which include some of the following: the DPMO tour with the main headliner, mentor, and CEO of the record label Funcase, Keizo's Unleashed XL tour, Sudden Death's Harbinger tour, Murata's tour, and more. Fast forward to now, he, along with other DJs and producers, have a little group called the Grocery Boys, also Grocery Bash, which is a show he and his group do as a pretty big FU to the giant promoting teams in not placing underground dubstep producers on well-known events and venues. So they're just venturing off with this little collective to see who likes to stick around, who has to go. No ties attached, and they say that things are going really, really well. Personally, Devin said this. Now, this one's going to be a unique section for this documentary as of September 2024/January 2025. Fun fact on myself, I started this in September 2024 and then I just held off on it. But we're going to look at the numbers from back then to now. For SoundCloud, in September 2024, this was at 13.6 followers. Now, as of the last day of 2025, with January specifically, it's at 13.8 followers. Oh, and it has a total of 42 tracks, which have both official tracks and mixes/sets that he's done. Jumping into Spotify, for September 2024, it was nearing 8,000 monthly listeners. Jumping forward to the last day of January of 2025, he has grown to over 9.7k listeners. He's almost at 10,000, so be sure to go follow him on the little Spotify if you guys are Spotify users. Being on the topic with SoundCloud and Spotify, in that little cloud platform, he has done a series called Root Canal, volume mixes, many years ago. Even one record posting that says maybe someone will listen to this and put me on main stage. Maybe. Well, with his numbers out of the way, let's get into some fun facts, shall we? He is working on another project with a metal rock band that I was fortunate enough to know a little bit about and catch on a Twitch stream. He also shared a snippet of music from this project, but I'm not going to share the audio. Reason being, I don't want to get in trouble. He can definitely kick my raving butt. Speaking of kicking butt, one of his healthy hobbies is lifting weights, as he posts some snippets on his Insta. Recommend if you're going to want to get some motivation, check out the EDM box below for his Instagram. He did move to London for some time in the early 2020s, right after the COVID pandemic restrictions were lifted. But then he confirmed to me personally, he returned to live in the States about a year into his London stay. I actually remember this announcement in the Hollywood Palladium before his last song. His mom was even in the crowd when he was performing at the Palladium for the very first time, as she was interacting with the ravers, and he just also shouts, "Hi, Mom!" On some of his socials, he has this text as his intro: "Sweettooth is the worst DJ of all time. I have no idea why people keep booking him." And here's the last bit of a fun fact. He used to have a little avatar, if I can call it that, of a tooth with some frosting and a cherry on top of it. Looks perfect for a Halloween bash, but it's kind of creepy if you ask me. Now, let's go into the discography. This is going to be, of course, some of the biggest inputs for every DJ and producer, so let's dive into it. With the collaborations, Sweettooth has gone with the following: Plethora, Yikes, Sora, Beast Boy, Squishy, Level, especially with Level when he started working with him in various projects and times as he was coming up and at it in the music scene, and of course many more that is going to be too much to post around here. His submissions in the record labels go by the following: Bygore, Circus Records, Welcome Records, Sounds of Mayhem, DPMO, Space Yacht, and now Hostage Situation. Well, with the submissions and the collaborations, let's dive into the singles, EPs, and albums. These singles, of course, he's got a good amount, which some I will mention, which will be Sadist, Electronic.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Everybody's gonna look at me like I said it, and I didn't say it. I'm not gonna take responsibility. No, I didn't say it.
All right, I'm not saying that word. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm just leaving that out. Don't screw me, YouTube. Along with other singles. His newest release, which was submitted into Hostage Situation with Bad Shit. A few remixes that I will also mention will be Supercharged Remix and Newsflash Remix. Devin hasn't created any albums with the project Sweettooth, but he has released 3 EPs, and they are the following: Problem Child EP in 2022, and going back in time a little bit with Dark Matter EP 2021, and during the COVID-19 pandemic, which is the Crovus Memoris in 2020. Alright, my personal recommendations. Of course, 2 of them have to come in mind, which were absolute bangers, which would be Impending Doom and Pucker Up. These particular songs were the top of when they were released, and I know a good amount of people remixed these 2 songs. Lastly, my personal thoughts. I have seen him perform not only once, but twice. Both at the Hollywood Palladium, actually. He performed as direct support for Jessica Audifred's Madhouse tour and Murata, along with Ryotan's Hollywood Palladium special, which was in late 2021. He stands proud to represent the underground dubstep and rhythm scene, and it's got to be covered with the unique info presented. Just get ready to brush your teeth unless you don't mind ending up with a rough bonk from a tooth injury or a cavity/root canal from Sweettooth. And speaking of that little funny skit, I'm just going to keep that there because I wanted to give a little bit of a spark of entertainment with these documentaries. That is going to wrap up for the 10th episode of the Electric DM10 covering Sweettooth. Yes, once more, Devin, my bad that I set this documentary off. I hope this would do somewhat of the justice that I've made up, because I'll admit, finding information with your discography and how you've come up with a music scene, it wasn't easy. And like I mentioned, for the video interview that Lenval did, which I'm going to be linking it into the EDM box below, he helped me out big time. So I paraphrase it and I say thank you to him as well. And thank you, Sweettooth, for your underrated work that you have done for the dubstep rhythm world. Let me know in the comment section below if anyone has seen Sweettooth throw down. And once more, thank you, ravers, for your patience. More going to be coming up very, very soon with these documentaries. Lastly, keep listening, stay safe, and rave on. All right, now I got to take care of my tooth. That's the freaking foot. Oh, my God.